Here's a 2010 Martin D41 that I evaluated in a previous video, and I'll put a link on it for you to go to. And this is it. Post work, it's all done, it's all ready to go. So let's take a look at the work that I did and talk about it and see what we did here. The most obvious thing is the pick guard. You know, I talked about that. I had the reddish pick guard. I changed the pick guard. I always give the customer several, choices. I lay them out on the guitar, take a picture, send them a picture. This is the one he chose, and so I like it. It's kind of bold looking, but I like the color a little bit better than I did the red one. The red one just kind of didn't fit anything. This brownish looks pretty good. So let's start up at the headstock, and let's work our way down. I changed the tuners. I'm looking at my list here. I changed the tuners. It had the big heavy with Shallow brand Martin tuners, Shallow Martin branded tuners. We switched to gold Waverleys, and I had to, take the raccoon eyes off of the headstock, of course. That came out pretty good, It usually does. Don't have any issues there. So the guitar weighs a lot less weight up at the headstock. It balances better down here. Okay, so gold tuners. I did a bone nut on it. It had my core end nut, which is okay, but bone nut's better on a D41, any guitar really. I did 5 frets, simply because they had some dents in them, and I'm putting a new nut on, so you might as well go ahead and get new frets to match the new nut. That way everything's up full height. I recommend not filing or dressing frets. When they get dents in them, replace them. And that way you keep everything at the full height, okay? I've been through this before, but what happens is, let's say you get some wear up in the first 5 frets. So a lot of people would file all the frets down. Problem is that then they wear again, and then you have to replace the frets, and then you have to replace all the frets because they'll all be worn. Rather than, you're not likely to wear out these frets in your lifetime, unless you really play a lot up the neck and do a lot of bends and things like that. Most people will not wear out the frets in this area. So just keep these frets fresh, and you'll never have to touch these again. If you file them and then have to do a complete refret, then you're gonna end up paying more money for that. So I like to keep everything full height. So when the frets get worn, I don't dress them down. I certainly don't dress all the frets. I just replace them. Yep, so that's what we did here. 5 new frets. Put those in. And what else did we do? Re-glued the bridge. The bridge was coming off big time. Re-glued that, and there was nothing major about that. It was just coming off. The top crack here was wide open when I got it, and now it's not. Now I can't feel it. I can see it still, because remember, I'm repairing a previous repair, and so it had some dirt, grime, stuff like that in it. So only so much you could do. But what I did find out, it was kind of interesting, when, you remember I told you I had cleats in there before, and I had to get the cleats out in order to humidify it to close the crack up as much as I could. So when I got the cleats out and humidified it, this top crack bulges upwards like this. And I thought, that's odd, So I went in there and I checked the braces, because usually that indicates a loose brace somewhere that's allowing the top to bulge up. It shouldn't bulge up if it's glued to the braces. It'll move back and forth like this a little bit. But this one was coming up. I thought, that's weird. Well, the first tone bar was almost completely loose. I mean, I literally, without any effort at all, could have taken the entire brace out. It was loose from here to here. I slid a feeler gauge the whole way across that thing. So I had to unexpectedly glue the top brace back down. And when I did that, I got a little bit of a dent right here in the top. It's just a little bit hard to see, but I can see it when I get the light on it right. Which, this guitar's got some dings in it here. It's got a ding here. It's got some finish checks. So that's not a tragedy. Plus it's got a crack in the top, But that happens sometimes. And I guess what happened is I just had to press that top down so far and just kind of put a little bit of a crease right there when it clamped back on. It may pop out a little bit after it gets humidified and dehumidified, and over time that might pop out. But I can see it right there, so that happens, you know. That top is major loose, and remember I have it very humidified, and so the wood cells are kind of swollen up a little bit, and maybe it compressed when I clamped it. I don't know. It's not bad. You got to kind of look for it, but I can see it there. Then after I got the brace glued up, and I got the top crack closed as much as it was to go, and it did not close all the way up. It didn't go up invisibly, so you know I have to deal with what I have. I filled in the crack with Titebond 3. The reason I like Titebond 3 is because it is a little bit flexible, and it also gives a little bit of a dark line right there that makes it look a little, sometimes like a grain line. Rather, when you use a regular Lithier's mercantile glue or even hide glue, it'll leave a different colored line. I've had great success gluing cracks with Titebond 3, so that's what I used. Titebond 3, glued it up, and then I did exactly what I told you I was going to do. I took the Glue Boost, and this is the thin. It's a fill and finish thin. It's a flexible super glue. It's much more flexible, much better for finish repairs than your regular super glue is. And ran a little bit of line down there, sanded that off, got it nice and smooth, polished the top, cleaned it all up. It looks pretty good, except for the little crease right there. But you know, nothing I can do about that. And once again, I point out the difference in light reflection on this top, and you can see it. Yeah, there it is, right there. It's got a definite dark spot right there, and definite line right here, which is not the center. The center is, well, that is the center. I take it back. That is the center line. That's the center line, and you can see the light. Got a little bit of run out right there. So, no big deal. It's just the way it is, you know. It's cosmetic mostly. Okay, what else did I do? Here's my list. Shaved the two rear back braces down. I took the popsicle brace out. Scalloped the X braces all the way up to the X, so it's more like a golden era, an authentic. Changed the pins. It had the white pins, and I commented on how I like the ebony pins with the black dots better, and there we go. It's an aesthetic thing. Looks. Changes the sound a little bit, but not dramatically, you know, nothing. The pins are just kind of a flavor. So I got a new bone saddle instead of my Carter saddle that was in there. And because I put frets on it and straightened the neck out, I got a nice tall saddle out of it. Saddle's perfect, neck angle's perfect. Everything's perfect about it except for the top crack, which is probably due to dryness or something at some point. I don't know. There's no impact, you know, anything on it, but kind of is what it is. What else did we do? 5 frets, golden waverers, X braces, pins, bone nut, bone saddle, scallop to the X, removed the cleats, took the popsicle brace out, shaved the back braces, re-glued the bridge, did the tuners, fixed the top crack, and there we go. A D41 with some actual repairs to it. Yeah, let's see what it sounds like. And of course, after you've done the repairs, you might as well just go ahead and modify it to get it the way you want it to. I'm going to pull the microphone up here a little closer. And of course, it's snagged on something. Always. Sounds pretty good to me. Good sounding guitar. Big and loud. Plays good. Yeah, I didn't have any trouble with any of that. Plays real nice. Good sounding guitar. Got a lot of snap to it. Give it a little more time, let those modifications really set in. It's going to be a great guitar. It's already a great guitar. I mean, gosh, it's comfortable. Like I said before, I really like bound necks. Just aesthetically, I like the way they look. I like the way the binding and everything blends in here. And this guitar is just real comfortable to play for me. Good neck. Nice amount of roundness and V-ness. You know, not a real sharp V and not a round baseball neck either. It's just a very comfortable neck. Yeah, nice guitar. I guess it's done. Gosh. Nice. I hate to send good guitars back, but owner probably wants this one back. So anyway, we got to take a look at it when it came in, and I evaluated it. Now we get to see it as it's done. And evidently I didn't play it. I don't know why I didn't play it in the evaluation, but I'm playing it now. I did another D41, and I did play that one. And I will also play it when I get done, so you can see. But this one's nice. I think, personally, it's just got a much more sound to it now. You don't have the micarta saddle in here, coil nut, big huge tuners. The back braces were all tall back braces. The X brace wasn't up. It was a good guitar, but now it's way better to me. It's got much more response, much more pop coming out of it. I got more bass. I got more treble to work with. I just have more sound to work with. And so what I played like Lonesome Fiddle Blues there, you know. The strings are a little bit sticky. I'm used to elixirs. These are non-coated strings, and my hands are sticky. But anyway, this guitar got a lot of treble. It's got a good Reiki sound to it that I can use for percussion. The bass is good. I played a little bit of, Layla. And what I listen to there is the percussion I get out of it. I get some snap out of that. And I want to hear a boom percussive sound out of it. And it's good. And then also, doing a single finger bar, moving up and down like that kind of gives me a feel for how responsive the guitar is. How easy is it to do that? Just how does it feel? Feels great, Easy to do that. And nice. All right, it's got to go home. I got other guitars to work on, so bye-bye.